5, Oscar Romeo Charlie.
Whiskey 5, Oscar Romeo Charlie. Roger, Roger. What's the name there, please?
Charlie, Roger, Roger. What's the name there, please? Roger, Roger. This is Rocky. I'm down in northeast Mississippi.
Rocky, come back with your location again, please, sir.
With your location again, please, sir. I'm in northeast Mississippi.
Roger, Rocky. Well, gosh, sorry we have a very inconsiderate person on the frequency that refuses to move off for a net, but, that's the way it is. Anyway, come back and give me about 10 seconds, and let me see if I can find a better path. Roger, Roger?
Find a better path. Roger, Roger? Roger, Roger, Roger? Hear the QRM a little bit. There's a little whistle, but he's not getting in on me too bad, so I can hear you. I can hear you real well.
Rocky, well, I just went to my magnetic loop antenna, and you're blowing me away with about a 25 over. I don't hear anybody but you, Roger.
Yeah, Roger that. My antenna is I got about 700 feet of wire up horizontal loop.
Roger, Roger. Now, what radio are you running, sir?
I'm on the IC 7300.
You've got the right radio there. All right, let's look and see for a setup for you. It starts with the compressor engaged at a 3. Compressor engaged at a 3. Roger?
Roger, compressor's at now on 3.
Roger, now move to your ALC with mic gain in hand, and as you speak rather rapidly, 100, 200, 300, adjust your ALC to where it's reading mid-scale to 2/3.
Let me locate the ALC. I'm not getting right to it. Can you give me a hint?
Note to self: when you find your ALC, go to your ALC with mic gain in hand, and as you speak rather rapidly, 100, 200, 300, adjust your ALC for mid-scale to 2/3 operation. Roger?
Roger, I've got that. Mid to 2/3 on ALC.
Roger, and your EQ is just fine, so I think that you'll do just perfectly when you make that ALC adjustment.
I appreciate that.
Yes, sir, and very, very, very nice signal. So after I went to my local antenna, very nice signal. I was getting Milford with that gentleman that refuses to move off frequency for a net. So, but I've got a beautiful recording on you now with my local antenna, Roger.
Hey, Roger that, and I appreciate it. Yeah, this antenna that I use, it's just a long loop of wire up there fed with a ladder line all the way down to this MFJ tuner, and I've got a couple of more antennas up, but I keep coming back to this one.
Roger. Now, which mic are you using, sir?
I'm using the ICOM stock mic.
That hand mic, 7300 hand mic?
Yeah, Roger that. I did have a little homebrew headset, Jabra headset that I'd made that was wireless that I really liked, but I think one of my little cold solders come loose. I got to do something to fix it. It went on the blink for me the other day.
Roger. Okay. Note to self. Another note to self about EQ. You might punch up 2 clicks more treble EQ than where you are when you find your EQ. +2 on the treble EQ from where you are.
Yeah, I know where the EQ is. Let me hunt that down.
All right, sir.
There's 2 more clicks on the treble.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sounds a little more edge on it. And that's exactly what you needed, Roger.
Roger that. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir. And so give me 10, now that we're in the clear and everything's cool, why don't you give me 10 more seconds or so about the best thing you like about your radio, that 7300.
Well, my first radio, and this 7300 is just my second radio, and I started off with a 746 Pro, but I'd used one of these a time or two on a field day, borrowed to friends, and that waterfall just kind of gets you, being able to kind of see what's out there without having to spin the dial up and down to hunt for signals, Roger?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Plus, just a beautiful transmitter, just one of the cleanest transmitters that I've ever heard. The the limiter on that transmitter. We're not talking about the compressor here. We're talking about the limiter, which is what you're looking at the output of your ALC. Is just absolutely perfect. It's a stone wall limiter. It just does not pass that point. So you can just get a 3 dB dynamic range just very simply, and that moves your average percent of peak modulation from about 10 dB dynamic range for unprocessed audio to about 3 dB, and that goes from about 30% average peak modulation to about 80 to 85. Roger.
Roger.
So it's just a beautiful radio. And the receiver, now my personal preference on that receiver is to run in limit 1 position, which is no limit, number 1 filter, which is no filter at all, and not run noise blank, and not run noise reduction. In, let's see, preamp RF1, preamp 1 or whatever. I think that's no preamp. I'm not real sure about that, but I don't think that radio needs to run in the preamp mode. Roger?
Yeah, I read somewhere about that. It said at least probably didn't need it on any band below about 20 meters.
Yeah, Roger. Just a beautiful radio there. And the frequency response of that receiver is down to 100 cycles, which is just, and we do suggest you run in the 100 to 2900 band pass.
Roger that, and that's where I try to keep it.
Yeah, there's no reason to compromise on that radio, 100 to 2900. And, then because the receiver does have that capability of frequency response down to 100 cycles, it almost behooves one to have a better monitor system, speaker system, than what happens inside that 7300 box with that little 3-inch speaker. By being able to plug into the audio out and getting a 2.1 speaker system that's 2 satellites and a subwoofer. That subwoofer can easily achieve 100 cycle reproduction. So you just open the box and it's just amazing what it actually sounds like. Roger?
Roger that. Well, I may take my little no, I don't have a subwoofer on my computer over here. I was going to say I might swap that over just to try it out and see, but I'll keep that in mind and be on the lookout for something like that.
Roger. Walmart, I think, has a Logitech or Labtech. I forget. I keep getting them confused, but it's a 2.1 system with a subwoofer that it's like $40. It's unbelievable. About $40, and that will give you that 100 cycle reproduction off that 7300. Roger.
Well, I appreciate that advice because I have considered another speaker, but just hated to spend the money for some of the ones that are made for ham radio.
Oh yeah, you don't want that. You want a real speaker system like music, and get that frequency response down to 100 cycles. And about the only way you're going to get it down to 100 cycles is with a speaker system that utilizes a subwoofer. And like I said, this Labtech or Logitech, it's like $40. It's just amazing.
Well, that sounds good. You got me wanting to go to Walmart now.
Well, lots of luck. A pleasure here, and we'll say 73 is up that way, Rocky.
Hey, I appreciate it, and I'll look forward to tracking you down on YouTube.
Yes, sir. YouTube for call letter search KC9VKV along with today's date 2/5/21 will take you directly to this recording. Now, if you just do a YouTube search for KC9VKV, it will take you to our Qso-Vlog page. And we're running about 1,500 Qso-Vlog recordings there, Roger.
Roger that. And I did not make a note of your name, but I know I can see it here on QRZ.
Roger. Your name is Jim, Juliet, India, Mike.
There you go, Jim. I sure do appreciate it. This W5ORC, I'll be standing by, and thanks for the advice. I appreciate it. W5ORC, I'll be clear.
Roger, Rocky, 73 that way, sir. Have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. If you can, join us next Friday. Beautiful signal. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.